Hello YouTube, we're on the Real Programming channel. I'm its host, my name is Andrei. I greet you, welcome. This is our 33 lesson. We're talking about HTML, PHP and MySql. And topic, when good deletes go bad, PHP, MySql. So, the $_post superglobal allows us to check and see if a form has been submitted. There are no dumb questions. For the start, how does knowing if the form was submitted stop us from accidentally displaying validation error messages? The reason the error messages are being shown incorrectly is because the script doesn't distinguish between the form being submitted we see being displayed for the first time, so we need a way to tell if this is the first time the form is being shown, in which case empty form fields are perfectly fine. It's not an error, we should only validate the form fields if the form's been submitted. So being able to detect a form submission is very important. So why don't we check to see if real form data is set instead of the submit button? It would work perfectly fine to check $_post subject or $_post Elvis mail, but only for this particular form, since every form has a submit button that can be insistently named submit. Checking $post submit gives you a reliable way to check for form submission in all of our scripts. Let's look on Sublime Text with our codes. And exactly, don't forget, you will find all the code and materials of this lesson under this video and description link. Please download the check. We check the value of $_post submit if the form has never been submitted. This will be unset. This parenthesis closes the first if, which tells us if the form was submitted. If the form's never been submitted, we definitely need to show it. Cool. So we can now detect the form submission and show error messages correctly. But we still haven't made the form feel sticky, right? That's right. Detecting the form submission is important, but we still need to use it to plug the sticky form data back into the form. Knowing if the form being submitted is an important part of making it sticky, but it isn't the only part. That part where missing is taking any form data that was submitted and plugging it back into the form is being output. You can set an input form field using the value attribute of the HTML input tag. For example, this code presets the value of an input field using the value attribute. This value is hard-coded. It's always the same every time the form is shown. But we don't want to hardcore a specific value, we want to insert a piece of data from a PHP variable. How is that possible? Remember that was used echo to dynamically generate HTML code from PHP in other situation. In this case, we can use echo to generate value for the value attribute from a PHP variable like this. Since we're switching to PHP to echo the variable, we have to use less than question mark PHP tag. The variable is echoed using the familiar echo statement, and to return back to HTML we close up the PHP code with a question mark and more than. Elmer's form can then be modified similarly to take advantage of sticky data. For a text array input field, we echo this with the sticky data in between the text area and /text area text instead of using the value attribute. Test drive. Check to see how sticky Elmer's data really is. Change the code in sendemail.php to check $_post for the form submission, as well as adding echo code to the form is that so that its fields are sticky. Upload the new version of the script to your web server and open the script. In a web browser, experiment with different form fields values, including leaving one or both fields empty and submit in few minutes times. Boy, that was dumb, leaving the body of the email blank. Thankfully, I never do that again now that the form is on top of things and I don't have to keep re-entering the sum data to fix it later. The send email script now shows an error message when Elmer leaves a form field blank, but it remembers any data he did enter. Some users are still disgruntled. Form validation has gone a long way toward dealing with Elmer's frustrated customers, particularly those who were receiving blank mails, but not everyone is happy. It seems a few people and receiving duplicate mails. Remember this guy from earlier in this chapter? This customer is frustrated because he keeps receiving multiple copies of Elmer's email. Elmer knows he didn't send a message more than once, leading him to suspect that maybe some users have accidentally subscribed to his email list more than once. Not a problem, just use the remove mail page /script from the last chapter to remove the user, right? Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Removing Albert using his email addresses will completely delete him from the email_list table, causing him to no longer receive any email messages from Elmer. We need a way to only delete Albert's extra rows from the table, making sure to leave one. Using the remove mail page from the previous chapter would remove the customer entirely from Elmer's database, which is not what we want. Brain power. How can Elmer delete all but one of the multiple rows in the table that have identical email addresses? And table rows should be uniquely identifiable. And the primary case enforce uniqueness. We will talk about this in the next lesson. And here is our 33 lesson about HTML, PHP and MySql is over. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, please. Put likes, share with friends, comment, eat bananas, chocolate, add nuts, drink more water for the brain, and do exercise every evening, preferably. You have done all the work. And drink more water for the effective work of our brains. And so on. Thank you. Bye.